The feminists hate Sadio Mane for this one. Well, by now, you must have heard of Sadio Mane, former Liverpool Football Club player and current player for Senegal national team, who recently won the AFCON, African Cup of Nations. Very successful footballer. Mane recently got married to a gorgeous 18-year-old woman. Recently, right, maybe 2 to 4 years ago, he recently got married. And of recent, they were posing in the photo, right? Mane is 30 or 32 or 30, and she's about 18, right? People seem to have an issue with the age difference. And of recent, a photo of Sadio Mane and his wife was released on Twitter. And under the post, you see a lot of them condemning it, condemning the marriage or union between Sadio Mane, an older man, and the young 18-year-old married woman. They condemn it, they hate it. A Twitter account called Afro Nigeria released a photo of the both of them, right? And underneath the comment section, you could tell the feminists were not happy. They hate the idea of an older man, but they hate the idea of a good older man, a good, responsible older man dating a younger woman, because it almost reflects their bad decisions in going for a dickbag douche. They see all men that way because of their traumatic past. Maybe the older guy, used to abuse her or hit her or just made her feel worthless. So they've viewed that as all men, which it obviously isn't. In their mind, they view themselves as that younger girl. Not just view, they see themselves as that younger girl. They're projecting their past trauma, their insecurities, and built up hatred for men. They're projecting it onto that older guy. They might turn out to have a fruitful and successful marriage, but to that older, bitter, vindictive feminist of a woman, probably divorced with 2 cats and dogs and probably some activist, she doesn't agree. In her mind, man bad, mad, man evil. They don't care to think what we value as men, right? We value youth, we value fertility, we value beauty, and younger women tend to have all of these in abundance. But they don't care because they view us as the villains, right? So underneath the comment section of that post, there were a few feminists there. So one of them, called Deconstructionist, tweeted, so I can't say that first word, I'll just say, broomed her from when she was 16 and married her at 18 while in his 30s. Nasty pedophile. I hope you hit your small toe on the side of the cupboard today. So obviously she's bitter, jealous, and sort of vindictive. She disapproves, right? She sounds angry, bitter, vindictive, unhealed. And someone else replied to Deconstructionist. King of Sparta responded saying, lol, another bitter feminist who can't seem to hold down a man, crying about a man who decided to marry a very beautiful young woman at a proper legal age 18. A young woman with less drama, less body count, even if possible, no body counts at all, no baby daddy, a woman who can. So that guy was right in saying that it's usually the older bitter women who have been done bad by the bad men in which they chose. They had the options of good men, but they sort of maybe weren't interested in those good men. Those good men were boring. They wanted excitement, danger. It's what a woman wants, excitement, thrills. So you sort of have to understand the minds of these quote-unquote strong and independent.
But how are you going to get through all of them?
Don't worry. Girls get it done.
Feminist ladies, you sort of have to understand the mind of them. So in their minds, it's only until a woman reaches like 30, 40 that she knows herself, she knows her worth, and she knows what type of man she wants. By the way, she's more combative by then. She's had more body count by then. She's been through so many relationship and traumatic experiences by then, right? But she knows her worth, right? Because they don't care what we value as men, youth, fertility, beauty. They could not care less to even understand why we prefer younger women. They couldn't care less. They want us to take them when they're old cargoes and just deal with their bad combative behavior. They don't want to cook, clean, be a mother. They don't want to be a homemaker. They don't want to take care of kids. They don't want to conform to a man's leadership, which happens to come with authority. They hate that words, those two words, leadership and authority. They hate it. They can't stand to hear it. They ick at the sound of it because all of that equates to patriarchy for them, right? They hate women who want to be mothers, who want to make a home, be a homemaker. They hate that. And that's why they're going to be forever single with 2 cats and dogs on antidepressants, because they have chosen to defy and go against what makes a marriage successful, which is the man. In my opinion, the man is the leader, provider, protector, taking care of his woman, loving his woman, cherishing her and his kids, just providing. There is honor in providing for us men. As a man, there is honor, right? And they just hate anything traditional. They hate that, right? And so because of they hate that, they sort of have to stain their minds. They sort of have to corrupt their minds and say, oh, man bad, don't cook, don't clean, don't wash. They go for careers, right? They go for corporate careers because they believe that will bring them happiness, a sense of satisfaction or a sense of worth, failing to understand that us men don't care like that about their corporate achievements, or or their degrees, or that we just want them to be a loving, caring, supportive, loyal, feminine wife, who is a homemaker, who does motherly duties, and we will in turn take care of them, but they don't like that. They hate the idea of conforming to leadership, which happens to come with authority. To them, that's patriarchy. So they must stain the minds of younger women, right? With this feminism propaganda. Don't cook, clean, wash. A man ain't shit. This, that, be strong and independent, be combative.
Told you I am not a widow, okay? I am divorced. I am an independent woman in the prime of my life.
You're 35 and alone. I run train on chicks like you. Oh my God.
Suffer, be everything a man hates. It's like, make that make sense. You want to get married one day, but you're everything a man hates. So I find there to be a double standard between when an older man dates a younger woman, to when an older woman dates a younger man. So when an older guy dates a younger woman, they raise their eyebrows. They're like, what? This isn't right. This isn't right. What the hell? But when an older woman dates a younger man, it's like, yeah, she knows her worth. What? It's the same thing. So take the Lamine Yamal situation, for example. Lamine Yamal, the Barcelona football club player, who was 17 at the time, and he was dating, or at least hanging around or seeing this 30-year-old OnlyFans model or something. He was 17. So a Twitter account called The Touchline posted images and pictures of Lamine hanging with this older woman. Right, I think that maybe they were dating or something, allegedly. And I went underneath the comment section, and there wasn't one single woman that said, this isn't right. It was the men that was saying, it was in fact the men that were saying, yeah, someone should check her. Is this right? One Twitter user called Cityboy responded to that post by The Touchline saying, I think this lady should be arrested and prosecuted for dating and having with an underage boy, period. Enough of allowing this foolish woman get away with such crime. There is a double standard. It needs to stop, everything in society needs to be treated fairly, right? But that's just my take, What do you lots think, Do you agree? Do you disagree? Comment down below, Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I'll see you next time.